That's right, boys and girls, we are live live as we look forward to Reading up against Blackburn Rovers out in the Championship, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you know where you've been, smash your subscribe and bang it. All things Rovers related, Championship related, World Cup related out in Qatar. That's, of course, a story for another day. Today, it's all about the Championship. It's all about Blackburn Rovers as we try to do the unthinkable, and that is, of course, go 4 wins on the spin. Standing in our way, though, is a small matter of Paul Ince. That's right, goodness gracious me, the governor, as he's known around the plans. But, of course, we'll talk all about that in a minute. A big shout out to these guys, of course, Blue Rose Capital sponsoring this segment of today's Watch Along. It is the pre-game show. Hopefully, shortly, any minute now, we'll have Jacob Ward on the line. He's not at the ground today. Put his feet up. He might even be in his dressing gown. We just don't know. It's going to be a surprise. But we do have feet on the ground. We have 2 sets of feet on the ground. So we are looking for a debut vlog today from Alexander Haben, Stephen Ward, not Jacob Ward, his brother from another mother. That's right, Stephen Ward is out there. So we shall see which one comes up. Maybe I'll stick them both out there. 2 points of view of the vlogs. Let me know, of course, as we get going, what you think the scoreline will be, or maybe what do you think about any surprises in the team news when we get that in about 9 minutes' time. That's, of course, that. But yes, standing in the way, of course, is Paul Ince, ex-Rovers manager, of course. Shit time it was back in the day. I believe that was pre-Big Sam. Am I right? If you are a Rovers fan with me, let me know down below. Rovers says, I hope that Rovers win 3-1. Andy Barnes, let's hope for a 2-0 win for Rovers. Let's hope indeed. Now, I did do a preview for this. If you haven't checked it out, you still have time to watch it. It is on the channel. Do chicken people still own? Yes, they do, Andy Lau. They do. But we don't call them that anymore. We just call them the Venkies. And we try to just keep them out of the spotlight because they are continuing to pump cash into this project of theirs, or hobby, whatever they want to call it, but they still keep us moving in the right direction. But yeah, Paul Ince was pre-Big Sam, am I right? Or was it post-Big Sam? It definitely wasn't post-Big Sam, definitely pre-Big Sam. So yeah, looking forward to the match. On paper, yes, it does look like a favourable tie for Rovers, but when you look at the back of the preview and the stats and all that kind of stuff, we don't have a favourable record against Reading in recent times, both home and away. I think we've won 3, lost 3 over the last 6. And of course, over the last 6 at the Majestic, I think we've got 1 win out of the last 6. So Reading will fancy their chances, and Paul Ince will fancy his chances again. He did a number on us last time at the back end of the season when we were desperate for points. So he'll be looking to stick another couple of sharp fingers at us. So yeah, Paul Ince was a pre-Venky's manager for Rovers, according to my knowledge. Yeah, let me know about that. What else we got going on? Of course, we have been covering the game in a bit of extensive coverage. Of course, we had the chat with Eddie Lewis. Respect to my Eddie Lewis, Pat was not. He's my pal still. He's in the Air Force, ex-colleague, I should say, in the Air Force. So we did do that. We also had the combined 11 from Lewis Hartley there, Hartley, of course. And yeah, we've been covering the game in extensively, and we will continue to do so all the way through tonight and in tomorrow morning, where we'll have the vlogs, we'll have the reaction, the fan cams, we'll have my post-match thoughts, and of course we'll have the review as well. All that's still to come right here on right now. We are waiting for Jacob. He's standing me up right now. I thought he'd be here in good time. He'll be here, I'm sure. But anyway, yeah, Rovers, of course, taking on Reading at the Majestic. What's gone on elsewhere so far in the Championship as we await the team news? Of course, this is day 2 of 2. There was some action last night and some big results, which really left Rovers sitting pretty at the top of the table. We remain top of the table, and we can lose today. We can lose 25-0, and we'll still be top of the table. I believe there's nothing that can stop us except Cardiff. If Cardiff win tonight convincingly, they will go top of the table. So that's that. Rotherham, of course, cannot catch us, but right here, right now. So we are top. A draw would, of course, extend that lead. A draw or more will, of course, in fact, if we win today, we'll give ourselves a bit of breathing room heading into the weekend's action against Sheffield United in a game we're probably going to find that difficult. So, yeah, and make sure you make sure you smash the thumbs up, smash the subscribe, of course, if you are new. And again, this is not the watch long. This is a pre-game as we look forward to the team news as well. So it's still waiting on the team news, but the Championship from last night, the games, of course, Norwich got themselves a good win, didn't they, over Huddersfield? 2-1 win for them. Coventry against Wigan was postponed. Birmingham against Watford was a 1-1 draw. Meanwhile, Bristol City with a big 2-0 win over Bristol City 2-0 win over Luton Town. I nearly said Leyton Orient there. But yeah, big win for them. Luton, not really the force they of course have been in recent times. So yeah, maybe they're going to have a tough old season as well. So make sure you, of course, keep an eye on the progress of those teams. Preston 0, Rotherham 0. I did anticipate a win for Preston on that one. Swansea 2, Milton. What a result that was! If you didn't see that one coming out of nowhere, 2-0 up Swansea were, but they shit the bed at the end, and a big a point in the bag that was for whatchamacallem, Millwall in the end. So yeah, and of course a couple of other ones there. Burnley could only muster a draw. Happy days about that. Go draw against Hull City, and QPR lost to Blackpool. Goodness gracious me, Josh Bowler on the score sheet it was yesterday. So yeah, drop your predictions in the scoreline there in the comment section. We got Craig Doherty with a 1-0 win. We've got Adam Barnes with a 2-0 win. Adam Davey was a 3-1 win. So everyone is coming into this with bubbling with positivity and bubbling with the belief that we're going to win this one today. I'm a little bit nervous about this game. I think it's too much confidence from Rovers at the moment heading into this. So yes, on paper they've not had a great start, have they, to the season, but they are up and running. They've got 3 points so far, so they've won 1 out of 3. Ain't bad. And a lot of people are tipping Reading to go down. I think I might be in amongst that category as well. But to be honest with you, on their day when they're playing, if they've got Lucas Jow started, if they've got Pushkas as well, Tom Ince is a player, Ajara as well, they have got the creativity in there. Can we ride our luck a little bit and, of course, snatch another win on the road? I've seen also a lot of third-party critics or pundits or whatever you want to call it saying Rovers bubble will burst. And yes, I agree with that. Rovers bubble will burst. If we were to ride this out and get promoted in the top 2 automatically, then I've shaved my eyebrows off. Yes, I would. I'd go to work with either them drawing on eyebrows. So I'm putting that in there for you guys right here, right now. So yes, here he is. We have Jacob on the line. He's just getting himself waxed for you ladies out there. He'll be, of course, joining us shortly. He's just prepping up. There's no dressing gown for Jacob today. He's actually fully clothed. So I'm sorry. But anyway, he is here. Let me just get him on the screen here. And of course, Jacob, you're with us. Can you hear me?
Of course I can, and yeah, unfortunately I am fully clothed.
Okay, so Reading, 3 points in the bag for Rovers, surely, right?
I would hope so, but like you said in your preview, Paul Ince is yet to lose when playing against Rovers, which I didn't like that stat at all, because last season when we come up against him, everyone was saying, surely this is a win. It's Paul Ince. He was rubbish at Rovers, this, that and the other. And obviously he's had a draw and a win to his name against us since he left. So not ideal, is it? It doesn't make good reading.
No. So yeah, let's talk about some of the news bubbling around Ewood Park right now. The Ash Phillips scenario. Is he? I don't know which who to believe. Is he going? Is he staying? What's your thoughts on the Ash Phillips conundrum right now?
I saw that post by, was it Elliot Jackson, I think, saying he's apparently going to put pen to paper. I would hope, seeing as we've grown and nurtured him, I think he's a local boy, isn't he, I believe. I would hope he'd at least sign a pro deal so the club can at least get something back from him. I think it'd be a bit of a slap in the face if he walked out for nothing, wouldn't it? And it'd be quite bad on Rovers' half as well to let that happen, because this kid could quite easily go for 20 million in a couple of years, you've got to think, like Phil Jones did.
Yeah. And also there has been bubblings or development or progress, I guess, with Diaz, with Nice coming out of it from France, and also maybe Everton now. If you were him, which move would you go for?
I think I'd have to go Everton. Is that because Anthony Gordon's? There's talks been maybe going to Chelsea, isn't there?
I didn't put that piece together, but probably, yeah, I would imagine that it is of course the domino effect that would make sense. But yeah. So you would go with Everton?
Yeah. I would say so. I lived in Liverpool for a few years, and I know what their fans are like. So passionate, and obviously, if you get on the good side of them, you can become a bit of a cult hero, I guess. And I'm sure they'd take to him, but. Yeah, I'm going to presume it would be because of Gordon. If Gordon leaves I think Chelsea put a bid in for 40, and I don't think Everton are biting. So if Gordon goes for about 50, that only strengthens our hand, I'd say.
I hope so.
If we're like, well, we know you've just got 50 million for Gordon, 20 million for Diaz, you know what I mean? So hopefully Gordon goes for as high a price as possible. And then we can obviously get as much as we can for Diaz. I think the Nice offer was just to open talks, I would say. I can't see us even biting at 10 million euros. I mean, that isn't much more than we paid for him, really, is it? We paid 7 million for him. It would only be a million or two more in pounds. So I would definitely say we need at least 15 million minimum for Diaz.
50 million minimum. The team news should be in now. I'm going to refresh the clocks here. Anybody that do you think? Well, anyway, who would you want to see in, or any changes from the game against whoever we played, West Brom last week?
I mean, I wouldn't. Everyone was fit and ready to go. I'd say exactly the same. I'm hoping Ash Phillips is fit, so we can actually have two centre backs. So here's hoping.
Yeah, there's changes. So Britain's in there. Ayala, I missed that actually. So let me start again. So Kaminsky is in. So that's good. Callum Brittain, of course. I have to do the stupid video here. Callum Brittain here is in there. Pickering left back, I would imagine. Ayala starts. And I'm imagining Phillips will be in there too. Oh, it doesn't say. Smodic starts, of course. We have Tyrese Dolan gets the nod. John Buckley. There's a clanger coming up here in a minute. Diaz is in there. Lewis Travis. It's coming. Jack Vale starts today against Reading. And
I'm going to say, you haven't said Gallagher.
Gallagher's on the bench. Hedges is on the bench. Dack's on the bench. Can you hear me? Can you still hear me?
I can.
Okay, good. Well, they should be able to hear me. So Dolan and Vale start. I'm happy with Dolan. I think he can be a bit bigger bag of tricks. But Jack Vale, I guess it's a second chance for him really to see if he's up to Championship standard. And Gallagher on the bench.
That's a weird one.
It is weird. I'm not too sure how much. Yeah, Morton doesn't get a start. Is he on the bench at the very least? Yes, he is. So Morton on the bench. Adon, Gallagher, Joe Reckick is still on the bench. Dack and Hedges. A strong bench, but Vale to start up top. What are your thoughts?
I mean, that seems strange to me, obviously, considering especially Gallagher got his first goal against West Brom. The only reasoning I can look into is obviously rotation, maybe a bit leggy.
Mm-hmm.
But he flattered to deceive a little bit against who did we have first game at season?
QPR.
QPR, yeah. I don't think he didn't look great, and to be honest, against Hartlepool, I think he was the weakest player on the pitch in my opinion as well.
Yep.
Vale, so I'm not really sure about that personally.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I hope it goes well for him, but yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah, a couple of comments saying, somebody, Stephen House, he's like to see Morton start. I thought he was good as well. I agree with that against West Brom when he came on for the makeshift team that we had. And concerned, why did we drop Hedges with 3 assists to his name? But yeah, rotation is key when we look at not just today, when we look at the next 10 days. We've got Sheffield United monster game on Saturday. Bradford at the Cup next weekend, and then I think it's Stoke. I think Stoke. And it's thick and fast. I don't know. Yeah, I expect probably Gallagher will start for Sheffield United if it. And Hedges as well. So okay, hopefully you haven't seen the Reading team. Who would you like to see in the Reading team?
Who would I like to see, or who would I not like?
Well, no, we'll get to that. We'll get to that one in a minute. But who would you like to see? Is there anyone that you thinks looks a little shaky or shitty or whatever? They want to maybe it's a blessing in disguise that if he plays.
I mean, I was going to say Tom Ince because he's been crap for ages, hasn't he? But he seems to be doing all right at Reading now, doesn't he? Whereas kind of before he got back with his dad at Reading, he'd been barren spell for ages, hasn't he, since Blackpool when he was really ripping it up there. But yeah, I couldn't really name any other players from Reading, to be honest. To him, like Hawkins in the team, I guess.
Yeah. Well, Joe Lumley's the one I was looking for because he did have a clanger against Rotherham, and hopefully has another baby clanger today. So he is in. This is the team. It's Joe Lumley, McIntyre, Holmes, Yidam, Guinness Walker, young left back there, Junior Hoyler, ex-Rover, Loom. I'm not too sure about him. Fornar's in there. Hendrick, Ince, Long. Lucas Jower is on the bench. so he can play a part, and it could be very, very typical that maybe, because you said Ince has been shit, he'll score now, and Lucas João will score as well. So that's we've painted it on the wall now. So any of those names, does any of those names, realistically on paper, it doesn't look that bad. They don't have a Jara who's a key player for them. Lucas João starting would also be a headache, I think. And I don't want to tempt fate, but it does look a good team to play for Rovers' point of view. But what about you? Any thoughts about that moving forward?
I mean, Lucas Shaw's the obvious one there, isn't he? I mean, he's their main threat. If he comes off in the 30th or whatever, and they're chasing a goal, it might be squeaky bum time a little bit. I would have loved to have got him rather. I think, has he signed a contract now with them?
I don't know. I think I would have heard that, and I don't think he's going to sign at this moment in time with their scenario that they're in. I think they're facing a bit of a financial restraints, and they of course cannot sign anybody at the moment. So I don't know if they can. Well, they might be able to offer some more money in regards to thing, but I think if you were in his shoes, you'd probably think this is a sinking ship at the moment. No. So no, it would be a potential option for Rovers if we are looking. So
I'd definitely love to get him, and I think we definitely need a striker. I mean, you look today, obviously we're playing Vale, who's obviously not tried and tested at this level. It kind of screams out that we need another striker, because if Gallagher gets injured and we're having to rely on 21-year-old Jack Vale up front, who's got a couple championship games to his name, it's really not ideal, is it? Especially if Diaz leaves, then we definitely need to replace those goals. So someone like Lucas João coming in, it's always been fitness with him, hasn't it? But if he's fit, he's quality at this level, isn't it?
Yeah, double digits.
So I definitely feel like we need a backup.
Yep, no, that would be a great one. Just checked him out. 28 years of age, so still a couple of good years left in him before he's considered over the hill. Now Steve also asks, is Puskás still plays? He's on the books. He's on the books for Reading. I don't know what his deal is. He was out loan last time around. And we did speak to a Reading fan earlier the week, Eddie Lewis. He did say that he's still there, and he did okay in Italy, but for whatever reason he's not in the team and he's not on the bench. So maybe that's a blessing in disguise. Never really took off for Puskás, who of course came with a bit of a reputation. Again, remember folks, this is just the pre-game show, sponsored by Blue Rose Capital, of course, but we're there for the watch along, and hopefully we'll get some halftime thoughts from Jacob if everything goes well on your end, and you can do that. So don't forget to check out Jacob's thoughts later. And yeah, what about yesterday's results? It worked. We came into this game now, game in hand in theory, on the bunch of teams still top of the league, and of course those knobbers down the road, not knobbers but the freaks down the road, should I say, sorry, pardon my French, the weirdos down the road, they couldn't get the win. So how have you seen the results from yesterday? Any other surprises for you?
I mean, I weren't exactly surprised, I guess, with Burnley's result. I mean, they've only managed to beat Huddersfield, who looked absolutely awful in that first game. I think any team could have beat them in that first game, to be honest. Obviously, yesterday, he had 78% of the ball, only managed 5 shots on target, only walked away with a 1-1 at home to Hull. I know Hull have obviously made a few good signings with the likes of Seri, and they have strengthened, to be fair, but to have 78% of the ball and walk away with a 1-1, I mean, I'm loving it. I mean, obviously, it's going to be, it seems like obviously it's a transition period, isn't it? Going from hoofball for decades to trying to play this Man City ball under company is obviously going to be a work in progress, isn't it? And they definitely need a striker. They can't be relying on that donkey up front, Ashley Barnes, can they?
Right.
Yeah. So, no. I'm more than happy with that result, and yeah, I mean, it keeps Hull off our tails as well, because I think they were second going into that game. So yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one. I do think I'm actually concerned. I think it will click into place, and Burnley will probably burst into life. So, but while we have it, I'm going to milk it, and I'm going to milk it till the cows come home, and hopefully, if things go right today, we could have a little bit of a cushion at the top of the table heading in to a rather difficult Sheffield United game. Are you going to that game on the weekend?
I was humming and ahhing, but I did it last season, and so I've decided to give it a miss this time round because the tickets are a bit pricey and it's not around the corner, and also I've got bad memories from last season as well with Kadja's penalty and that ex-novice scoring a last-minute winner.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to give that one a miss, but I will be doing Blackpool away for sure, and I think I'm going to do Bradford away.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully Kadra does, if he gets the opportunity to miss a clanger for Sheffield United on the weekend as well. Adam Davies says hello to you, by the way, just letting you know that everyone's asking about you in the chat here. Think the bubble will burst, will still lack cover in attack, and as increasingly like ideas will leave. We are leaving it too late to replace. Graben is available on a free. Would you touch Graben?
I mean, how old is Graben? To be fair, like if it was a few years ago, then yeah, definitely. But he's probably a bit too old now, I'd say. And I mean, I imagine he'd be a high earner as well. I would think. He is proven goals at this level, but probably not as much anymore as obviously a few years ago.
What about his? There's another guy at Forest, Lyle Taylor. Would you touch him? He's an old guy as well. Scored goals for Charlton, I think. He's.
To be honest, I don't know. I mean, we probably do need a couple more experienced heads in there. But obviously, that's not really the way we're going, is it? You look at our average age; it's the youngest squad in the league by far. If JDT feels like we need another experienced head, then I wouldn't mind going for one of those guys for sure. But obviously, if you get them on a decent wage and, you can kind of move them on in a year or two's time easily enough, not tie them down for obviously too long. But you'd probably be wanting more of a younger player, wouldn't you? Maybe from a League One, League Two side, kind of nurture them and then sell them on. Like, that is the only way this club's going to be making money through our academy and buying players and developing them and selling them on. Because we obviously can't outspend the other clubs. So it's what we need to do, unfortunately, kind of adopt that Brentford kind of style with the money ball.
Yeah, I'm all about that. If we can find some gems somewhere, somehow, but let's just find them. And I know that I remember when Brentford bought Tony, and they paid a big packet for him from Peterborough, like 8 million. It still cost a lot of money from buying League One. It can cost a lot of money from League One talent. Look at that guy who's scoring goals now for Peterborough, Jordan Clark-Harris, or whatever his name is, Johnson Clark-Harris, whatever his name is. I'm sure he would go for a packet as well, like 5 million plus. So there are guys out there, and I'm sure there's guys out there that could do a job. And I think that guy, that Johnson Clark-Harris guy, was actually a Rovers thing. Let me double check that.
He didn't do too well last season for Peterborough, did he? But the season before that, he got like 30 goals or something silly, didn't he, in League One?
He did. Yeah, no, he's not. It's not what I thought he was. I thought he was a Rovers Academy player. But anyway, yeah, Lucas Shaw would be absolutely fantastic as well. Nice Steve saying Curtis Davis from Derby would be good. I don't know. Samuel Hoyt's going in with a 2-1 win for Reading. What is your score prediction for this game? Moving on to as we edge closer to the kickoff. Because you were close last time around for Swansea. You said 2-2.
Yeah.
So you were not far off. I'm glad you weren't right.
Yeah, for West Brom, I was. When they made it 2-1, I said to my mate, for fuck's sake, I'm going to be right. It's going to be 2-2. I would have bloody hated it if we'd have chucked that away. Would have been so Mowbray, wouldn't it? But no, I'm thinking today probably a 2-1 win. I think we've got to beat Paul Ince at some point. I'd hope during this really good run of form, we can do the business over Reading. I think obviously it's Ashley Phillips at the back. We're away. It could be a test for him. So I would say we'll concede, but I'm just hoping we still have enough up front. I'm concerned about Vale. Dolan doesn't score the most goals, but hopefully Diaz can maybe get one or two. And 2-1 win. But to be honest, out of the run of games we've got, you'd like this game to be the one we bring Dolan in, bring Vale in, and then be full strength for Sheffield with our first team who are revitalised and ready and raring to go, because that is going to be a tough game on Saturday.
It is going to be tough. And I'm sure most of us are realistic enough to say that could be a game that we draw with. Because
You take a draw.
yeah, we would. Yeah. That's nice. Seems with a 3-1 for Rovers. Clark House and Lard Taylor, I'm sure, would want to be on high wage. Plus, I don't think their attitudes very bullish and aggressive. They're just poor versions of 2015 Gestead. Someone said in the comments there. So recapping the lineup, I'll just give it to you here because I've got the graphic now. It is Kaminsky, Britton, Phillips, Ayala, Pickering, Travis, Buckley, Smodic, Dolan, Diaz, Vale. So it's just the Vale is a little bit of concern, and maybe fresh legs, point to prove, chance to go to score against the Lumley, who might be a little bit vulnerable, and a chance. And if he scores, you know what? And if I think, well, actually, this might be a question for you anyway. So would if he doesn't score or if you were in his shoes from what you've seen so far, does he remain at the first team or do you loan Vale out?
I think you've got to keep him at the minute. But if we got a replacement in, I think you'd be humming and ahhing then whether to loan him out. But I know we're looking at loaning Butterworth out, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, if he goes out, you've got to then think we'd have someone coming in for sure. Because I'd probably still keep Vale just in case. Because obviously, if one of the strikers, say we were to bring another one in, if one of them three got injured, you'd obviously then have two available. But if you then loan Vale out, our only striker at the club would be Gallagher at that point. So I think I'd keep him for this season. He's going to play cup games. He's going to get the occasional minutes here and there, you would think. Even if we brought someone in, you'd think he'd be getting at least a few minutes in the league off the bench. So I think he's well worth keeping this season anyway.
Yeah.
See how he does, and hopefully can have a better season than Butterworth did.
Definitely, yeah, he was atrocious. He has been for a little bit now. Engine says 2-0 win for Rovers. Diaz Dak off the bench. Andrew Watton, of course, in the house. He says 1-0 win for Rovers. So there are positive picks in the chat. And you, what did you say for your pick? 3-1, 2-0. What was 2-1?
2-1. 2-1. I've gone for
2-1. So mark that down, people. Jacob says a 2-1 win. We do have feet on the ground. Jacob's brother from another mother, Stephen Ward, is out there. He hopefully will do a vlog, and we are putting our faith in Alexander Haben out there. He is attempting a vlog. He barely managed to buy himself a ticket this week, but he's out there and he's given it his best shot. Hopefully he doesn't get sunburnt. I know there's no sun out there, but I'm sure he'll find a way. He'll find a way to get sunburned in the dark. That's Alexander Haben. Anyway, Jacob, I'll let you go. Hopefully you get good luck with you on your end there, and hopefully we'll catch up with you half time, get your food for thoughts and that kind of stuff. Maybe even actually 5 minutes before the game starts if you're free and available.
Yeah, yep. That should be fine, yeah.
Yep, I'm going to go get myself ready, get the show ready, of course, and get the graphics on the screen and all that. So we'll be back in about 20-odd minutes right here on a different link. But, of course, a big shout-out once again to Blue Rose Capital, who did sponsor this bad boy. Go over there and wherever they are and get some money off of them. Let's make some money for Blue Rose Capital. I appreciate it. Anyway, I'm going to get the graphic on the screen for you guys here now. Jacob, you're good. I'll catch up with you later. I'm going to get the thing on here, and I will show you the team. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to show you the team. Of course. So we'll start with, of course, the hosts, which will be, of course, Reading. That's right. Let's take a look at their team. It is, of course, right here, right now on your screen. Joe Lumley, between the sticks, had a bit of a shitter against Rotherham this past week. McIntyre at the back there. Holmes, Yadom, who is the Capitano. Guinness Walker at the back. Junior Hoyler, ex-Rover there, extraordinaire. He's in there. Lum, not too sure about that guy. Fauna as well. Hendrick, Ince, and Long. And it's the Navy kit. Indian told us that. So it's the Navy kit. I did see the pick. So that is the host. And of course, on the bench, we do have the likes of Lucas Chow, Kamara, Craig, John Clark, a lot of young guns, a lot of youth. And that's, of course, courtesy of Eddie Lewis, who told me about all that gear business earlier in the week. So let's take a look at the Rovers team then, shall we? It is, of course, Kaminsky between the sticks. Britton, Phillips, Sign the contract. Just sign the contract. Spurs will be there for you about 2 years, pal. They'll be there. So just sign the contract. He's partnered alongside his father, Ayala. They're bloody his father and son. Goodness gracious me. Pickering's in there as well. Travis, Buckley, Smolich, Starks, Dolan as well. Diaz and Vale. On the bench, we do have an attacking lineup. On the bench, we do have the likes of Dak. We also... what have I done there? Look at that. Oh, that's pretty savvy. Look at that. I'm loving it. Loving it. Okay, we got on the bench, we have Taylor Dunn, we have Ranky Costello, Morton's in there, Dak, Edges, Gallagher. It is a tasty, tasty looking lineup. Make sure you smash your subscribe, smash the thumbs up, smash the little bell. We'll be back in about 20 minutes time with the live watch along right here. Of course, Jacob will be with me and we will be hopefully watching Rovers going a couple of points clear at the top of the table. Dare we say it? Dare we believe? Dare we actually believe that what could we go with? We could actually, what are we right now? We're actually 1 point clear of Hull. We've played a game less, but we could go 4 points clear of everybody. We could take the day off. We could take Saturday off against Sheffield United. We could play the kids. We could play the women's team. Let them play against Sheffield United and we'd still be top. No disrespect. That's not a disrespect. That's just me saying I could play. I could play. Give me a game. Register me and I'll play. Make sure you smash your subscribe, smash the thumbs up, smash the little bell. We've had it. The Navy kit might be bad karma. We'll have to see. I do appreciate you guys here. Of course, I do appreciate Blue Rose Capital for sponsoring this segment of the show. They also sponsor my reaction video, which will be later on, the review later on. But make sure you subscribe, thumbs up and all that kind of stuff. We're already doing very, very well. And I appreciate you guys stopping by for the pre-game show. And of course, appreciate Jacob as well stopping by. But we'll be back in about 20 minutes time for the real deal, the meat of the action, the meat of the pie, and I'll be there with you and hopefully you'll be there with me too. But until then, guys and girls, we're going to see you later. Until then, be safe out there and get ready for